What's going on, guys? Austin the manager here. In this video, I'm going to go over how to network on Instagram. These are the strategies that I've used to do business with people who have over 500,000 followers, Grammy-nominated artists and producers, and people who really make moves in my industry and help get shit done. If you don't know who I am, I'm the guy with the shoe phone. I help people and brands grow online, and I currently work with about 500 accounts on a monthly basis. If you like entrepreneurship or you want to learn more about how to grow a brand, hit that subscribe button so you can see some new content. So before we get into this, we need to understand why networking is important and why we're going to do the things that we're doing. Networking is basically what propels you forward in any industry. I like to say a big part of creating opportunity is who you know and why they like you. I haven't always been the best fit for an opportunity, but I'm always one of the first people who comes to mind to be able to get the job done. The reason I'm always thought of quickly is because I stay in the front of people's minds thanks to the networking strategies that I use. And these strategies keep you right there without being annoying so the person doesn't want to work with you. Once I do get an opportunity, and I don't get them all, but once I do, I always maintain that relationship and I typically build, and it brings me more business based on the way I conduct myself. But that's for another video. I like to view networking as a ladder, and I'm going to use followers here just so we have something concrete to compare, but I never want you to place your value in your followers. It can be a part of you, but it doesn't determine who you are. So let's say you've already done some networking and you hang out with people who have about 10,000 followers. As you spend more time with them, you'll eventually meet someone in their circle who has 50,000 followers. You network well with them, and then you start spending more time with the guy who has 50,000 followers. Boom, you just climbed up a rung on the ladder. As you spend more time with the 50,000 follower guy, you end up meeting some of his friends and people in his circle. One of those people has 100,000 followers. You network well, and you end up spending time with the guy who has 100,000 followers. You just climbed another rung on the ladder. And you can just repeat this process over and over again and keep climbing that ladder. Now, this process could take months or years depending on how well you are at networking and the type of personality you have. Now, one thing that can speed up this process greatly is meeting people in person first. So, like I said, let's say you're hanging out with a guy who has 50,000 followers. If you meet that person who has 100,000 followers in person, you might get a follow from them on Instagram, but at bare minimum, they recognize you and they know your account. And that's the battle that we have when we're networking. We want someone to know who we are. So at that point, you kind of have a leg up and you can save yourself time because you already have a little bit of an introduction. Before we take any type of actions, the first thing we need to discuss is your Instagram content. You have to have good content if you're going to be a master networker. I like to say your Instagram is like your resume. So if you have a shitty resume, no one's going to hire you. It's the same thing with Instagram. If your page looks terrible, no one's going to want to connect with you and it's going to be very hard to find business. So a few things that you should pay attention to when you're making your page look as good as possible are your Instagram bio. So you need to have a bio that identifies who you are and what you do. You could see in my bio that I can help people get involved in giveaways and supply press. I'm an artist manager and I also help people with Instagram growth. Right there, when someone comes across my page, they understand a little bit about who I am and what I do. Additionally, I have a bunch of highlights talking about different things that I really enjoy, and it highlights the content that's on my page. You don't want to be following a ton of accounts. If someone approaches me and they follow 4,000 people, I know that they're really not serious about what they're doing, and they're trying to connect with anyone and everyone, and they're probably not going to bring me value. It's not always the case, but typically that's what someone's going to judge you as if they see your pages like that. So try to follow only people who are super important to what you got going on in your business. You also want your account to be able to bring some type of value, whether that's advice or entertainment, or maybe people just follow you because you're really good at something. You have a skill like makeup, or you have a great fashion sense. Those are all good things to help you stand out and just get a little bit of a leg up on your competition. You have to realize that the people that you're reaching out to and trying to connect with are famous to some capacity. And that means that they have thousands of other people or hundreds of other people that are trying to do the same thing as you. So you're competing against a lot of people, and you need to do whatever you can to make yourself stand out. You have to ask yourself, why would this person want to connect and network with me? And whatever the answer to that question is, has to be able to get answered by your Instagram content without you ever talking to that person. Here's why. When you send a comment or you reply to someone's story, if you say something of value and you get them to actually check you out, they're going to judge you based on how your page looks, who you are, and what you do. So you have to have good Instagram content that shows that you can bring value and provide value to that person. Because if your page looks like shit, they're never going to answer you. And you lost your opportunity before they could even actually get to know who you are. So now that your content's set up well and we like the way your page looks, we need to identify people to actually network with. Now, I'm going to put up a chart somewhere, and it's going to tell you basically how far you can reach based on the amount of followers you have. So obviously, if you have 5,000 followers, you're not going to be able to connect with Drake. But I'm going to break down a strategy that one of my buddies, Late Night Custom, does, and this has helped him get shoes in the hands of people like Charlie D'Amelio or Trippie Redd. So what you can do is connect with people who have a smaller amount of followers that are still associated with the person you're trying to reach. So managers or friends of whoever your ultimate goal is, you can network with them, reach out to them, and then climb the social ladder in that friend group or in that business. And this will help you get connected with the right people. If you want to see more from Late Night Custom and check out all the dope designs that he does, you can go check him out on Instagram at Late Night Custom. He's got a website and all of his designs are available for purchase. Once you've identified some people you want to network with, you're going to go ahead and turn on their post and their story notifications. Every time these people post, you're going to comment on it, something meaningful, of value, and it's relevant to the content. Remember, you're trying to stand out here. The goal is to get them to eventually start replying to your comments. And honestly, if other people reply to your comments, that's good too. If you start a really good conversation in the comments, whoever you're trying to get in touch with will definitely take notice. Maybe not the first time, but if you continue that, they'll definitely start to notice you. Also, you're going to want to try and view all of their stories and be the first person to view them as often as possible. Now, I know everyone has a life and they're not going to be waiting for stories all day long, but when you do get that notification, go check it as soon as possible just so you get your name up there in the top and you want them to notice, wow, this guy really watches my stories a lot. And that's honestly all you can ask for right now. You just want them to get familiar with your name and familiar with your profile picture on your account. You shouldn't just be trying to network with one person at a time. You should pick a bunch of people that are within your range right now and go for it. I have hundreds of people's post notifications turned on right now that I've been trying to network with and build relationships with. Once you consistently start getting good replies in the comments, you're going to start swiping up and replying to their stories. Now, you're only going to do this about once a week, so pick and choose which story you feel is going to be best to do this. Now, you can ask about what's going on in the story, but give a good question. Again, remember, you're competing with so many other people who are trying to connect with them. Everyone loves talking about themselves, so I usually try and direct it exactly at them or something about them. Additionally, what you can do is provide some type of opinion on what's going on and just have a discussion. This is a great way to spark conversation. You're going to continue to do this until you feel like you're really having good conversations and consistently interacting with these people. Remember, at the end of the day, you need to be bringing them some type of value, whether it's a fresh perspective or money or entertainment or good connections, whatever it is. I personally am a fan of starting to do business with someone, paying them for something, so they're forced to work with me to get to know how I am. Now, obviously, you can't do this with everyone because a lot of people can be expensive, and if you don't have a lot of money, it's not going to work. But that's one of my favorite methods if I'm really keen on trying to get connected with someone. So if you get to a point where you feel like you guys are really close and you're having a lot of good conversation, then you have to wait for an opportunity that you can take advantage of to start doing business together. If you feel like that person wouldn't want to do business with you yet, you're not close enough with them. And that means you need to continue having conversation in the DMs. If you see that they're going to be traveling and they're near you, offer them something. Say, hey, dinner's on me. or just link and chop it up, whatever it is, just so you can meet them in person. It's extremely important. Once you meet someone in person, you solidify that relationship so much more, and then you guys even become closer on social media. Now, I can't tell you exactly how to initiate meeting with someone in person because every situation is going to be different. But you have to be bold and you have to be confident. If someone says they don't want to meet with you or they leave you on red, oh well, that's how it goes. And you move on to the next person that you're trying to network with. This is why you're networking with so many people at once, because not everyone's going to be interested in you. I'm going to show you guys some examples directly from my messages of people that I've built relationships off of nothing. I've just found them and said, I'm going to go for that person. And it took time to get to, the point of where I'm sending these messages, but you got to be patient. The first guy's name is he's verified, and he has about 60 million records sold, and he's Grammy nominated. This is an example of how I got him to follow me, all off of me replying to his story. So you could see I replied to this guy's story, and he shared a clip of a music video for an artist I've never heard of, and he didn't tag them. And I replied and I said, not feeling this, would be interested in hearing more though. What do you feel about it? So I started a conversation. He said he loves it, and he sent me the guy's profile. I went through the profile and I found some stuff I did like, and I said, I'm feeling the stuff closer to this sound. I feel what you shared in your story has a market, but that market isn't expanding. I have no clue what I meant by this last sentence. I think it might have been a typo, but regardless, it worked. He said, they just sent me their new music video. That's fire too. They're like the new Beastie Boys, like rapping Nelk Boys. I said, if you put it to me like that, it sounds sick. I'm showing my age here, but I don't know much about the Beastie Boys past Sabotage, so that doesn't help. He said, that's why I'm excited. This generation doesn't know the magic, but they know Nelk Boys and FaZe, so if it was molded into a rap group, this is it. Wild kids that drink beers and spit bars. I said, music is the place to blend cultures like that 100%. So is it a group or more of a crew like ASAP? And we continue to have this discussion. Just this, me reaching out and discussing music with him and showing a little bit of my knowledge landed me a follow. And then we continued our relationship, built that relationship, and now we do business together. This next example is about he's a label executive and I ended up following him like I would anyone else who I was trying to network with, and he immediately followed me back, which skipped a lot of steps for me. So from there, I messaged him and I said, I appreciate you following me back. I would love to learn more about what you do. I got a cell phone number and we set up a time to get on a call. Now, we ended up not being able to get on that call. One of us got caught up and we tried to reschedule and things just didn't happen. So he still followed me and, I tried to do my best to stay in touch. And then recently, one of his artists was set to perform at the VMAs. So he was advertising and posting different content the whole week leading up to that. So what did I do? I was the first to comment on all the content and support. This started making him watch my Instagram stories. From there, he actually reacted to one of my Instagram stories, and I'm going to pull it up here. So you can see he reacted with the 100 emoji, and I said, much appreciated, man. He said, I hope whatever you're going through passes quickly and you come out stronger. Do you want to take on some IG growth with a few of our artists? So he initiated contact there just based on how I was supporting him and how my page looks. And he continues to consume my content and sees that I'm successful in the Instagram space. I said, absolutely. Let's connect on the phone this week and we can discuss what's best for you and your artists. This last situation with who's a video director with over 500 million collective views and over 40 MTV and BET premieres, messaged me first. And it looked like it was just a standard message, and he didn't follow me, and he was just looking for some business. He said, hey man, here's my film reel. Let me know if you're trying to work. And I turned this into a meeting, even though I wasn't bringing him any business. Let me show you how. I said, appreciate you reaching out, brother. We don't need anything in the immediate future, but we'll definitely keep you in mind. What does a typical video run price-wise? and where you're located. He said, all good. I just wanted to reach out. You come up on my search page a lot. So this guy was seeing me on Explore because I have good Instagram content. And that initiated this contact. Depends on what video details are, but most of my videos range, but could be more or less based on what the video involves. But I work in New York a lot and Long Island with a couple artists out that way also. I'm really all over the place filming though. I said, dope, bro. My artists can't afford that at the moment, but I'm tapped in with a lot. So if anyone's looking, I'll be sure to hit you up. Who do you work with on Long Island? He told me who he works with on Long Island. And I said, dope, I've heard of him before. If you're ever going to be close by, let me know. I'd love to chop it up with you. And he said, I'll be out there in the middle of February. February rolls around. He hit me up 10 days before he was going to be out there. And we ended up getting breakfast. Just chopped it up and we built a relationship. Now we do business together. Use these examples and try and apply them to your own situation. You have to remember to be confident and also be patient. You can't rush building a relationship with someone. As always, if you stuck around this far in the video, I greatly appreciate you. If I brought you any value or you learned something new from me, smash that like button so I know I'm doing a good job. I'm brand new to YouTube, so I'm still trying to learn everything. If you have any feedback in the comments, I definitely appreciate it. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more music from me. Now I'm an artist apparently. If you want to see more content from me, hit that subscribe button.